What's up, my people? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United Fans Corner. Guys, the transfer window is done and dusted. Manchester United successfully brought in the likes of Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, Diego Leon, Benjamin Sesko, and Samuel Lamens, the goalkeeper. And having also played 4 games, before the international break, a topsy-turvy 4 games, different kind of results that you could have. I just felt it's very, very important for us to do an overview of what we have seen from the team so far, to analyze what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong. And I think in the analysis, something kept popping up, a central problem kept popping up in the analysis, which is what we want to analyze today. I think before, in previous episodes, I highlighted that Ruben Amorim is, he understands the task ahead of him at Manchester United. He understands the fact that he needs a team that is well suited to play his 3-4-3 formation. But I think I analyzed earlier that the strategy he went about in this summer transfer window was to create a spine. And I felt the spine was almost completed, but, we didn't get the midfielder. So I said earlier enough that, as a football manager, whenever you get to a team and you want to create a new team, a new 11, a new squad to play your style of football, you are best advised to, first of all, address the issue of the spine in terms of you need a goalkeeper. This is your spine, the central positions. You need a goalkeeper. You need center defender. You need a central midfielder. You need a number 10, and you need a striker. This is what makes a spine of a team. And you can look at it. He got Samuel Lamens, which was a goalkeeper. That's the base of the spine. Yoro already is one of the defenders that was added before he came in. Deletes a new defender that was added, and you can see that even in the games we have played so far this season, those 2 guys remain an integral part of what he's trying to do. And then when you look at the center midfield, in terms of the attacking midfield aspect of things, he got in 2 number 10s or 2 inside forwards in the sense of Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, and then he got in a striker in the sense of Benjamin Sesko. So that is the idea of what Ruben Amorim was trying to fix, but it's not complete because we all knew he wanted Baleba. The finances of that deal, didn't work out, and so if he had gotten Baleba, he would have gotten a spine as a first phase of his rebuilding for Manchester United in order to be able to play a 3-4-3 formation. But I feel, in as much as we've talked about that spine in terms of the footballing and tactical aspect of things, I think it's also very, very important for us to also look at the fact that this team is suffering from a much more bigger problem. In my own analysis of the games we've played, I think I can clearly say that much more than formation, because some people will tell you what is doing Manchester United right now is a 3-4-3 formation, which I think we've done an episode on it to say is not actually the truth, It's not actually the truth. When some people tell you, it's the midfield base of Bruno Casemiro. Yes, that's a problem. That is a legit concern. But I don't think that is the biggest problem we face going into this season. Some people might tell you, it's the fact that we can't score goals. Yes, that's a problem, but I don't think that's the major problem we are going to be facing this season. And I feel the biggest problem we're facing this season is that this Manchester United side, this squad that we have, after the window has closed, is a squad that lacks a mental spine. We're talking about the tactical spine now. This team lacks a mental spine. Now, footballers are talented people. Footballers are amazing people. Footballers, they are special people. But no matter how special, how talented, how amazing they are still human beings. And sometimes, no matter how talented you are, how special you are, when you finish a season 15th, as we did last season, I feel sometimes, and what we have seen also, is the fact that it takes a lot of work, not just tactically, but a lot of work, most importantly, mentally, to get you to believe in yourself as a player, that although you finished 15th last season, you can still, perform well this season and do well. And I feel this issue is a major issue I'm looking at in Manchester United, in the sense of these players finished 15th. And I think mentally, they don't believe they are able to finish even top 4 or even top 6. Because and I think when you're like, what are you trying to say? I think there was a press conference that Ruben Amorim did. That was before the Burnley game. That's after the Grimsby match, where he used a phrase that actually, when I was thinking about that, when I saw the press conference, I knew, yeah, this is a problem. And I'm happy that the manager actually has seen it. And I want to quote Ruben Amorim when he said, they think something is wrong with the water here. They think something is wrong with the water here. He said, but no, nothing is wrong with the water here. Nothing is wrong with the environment here. Everything is here. I feel Manchester United, much more than a tactical battle, we will face a mental battle. The preseason was amazing in some respects. Good preseason, everything went well. But I'm telling you that the mental toll it took on the players when they played against Arsenal and they played well and they lost, and they now went to Fulham. They played at least for 60 minutes. They played well and they drew that game. They just lost the belief. They lost the belief. They lost the confidence. And I'm looking at it that this season it will take a lot of work mentally to get these players to believe that you can actually do it. Manchester United, in my opinion, faces a much more bigger battle mentally than even tactically this season. Because a lot of time, these players will not show up because mentally they don't believe they can win the game. So it doesn't matter, because football is first of all mental before tactical. As I said during the after the Grimsby match, you can't teach passion. You can't teach mentality. You have to have it. All that a coach can do is to teach you how to approach the game in terms of tactics and how to maybe ginger you one way or the other. But the fact is, if you are not switched on here, nothing happens. And I feel Manchester United is going to pass through that issue. And I think there are certain reasons why this mental battle will be tough on the players. Because what I want to do now is to tell us why that mental battle is tough. Then I'll tell you the causes of the mental battle we are facing. I will tell you the symptoms we will be seeing as the season progresses as a result of this mental battle we are fighting. And thirdly, I will tell you the solutions I believe Ruben Amorim, as usual, we always talk about solutions here, the solutions Ruben Amorim should employ to fight this mental battle. First of all, causes. I said one of them, and this is not an excuse. I'm just saying these are human beings, and it's not possible when a team finish 15th. These are good players. But sometimes that you are a good player, when you finish 15th, it's not easy for you to believe in yourself so much. You need a lot of work on your mental abilities to believe that you are a good player and you can finish higher than 15th. Second thing I believe that causes this mental issue is the media. I think there's certain things I wanted to do a reaction about, like, is it really necessary? But let me just say one of them is the disgraceful commentary we see about Manchester United. Most especially, and I think more disgracefully, is Gabriel Agbonlahon. I think we have to say Gabi Agbonlahon is, for me, I think it's just disgraceful what he's doing. And I think it's a media corporation that I work for. I think you need to call him up to order in the sense of, are you actually hating or are you an analyst? I think we need to understand what you are doing. You can't, you are not objective. And maybe that gives them the clicks. That could be a major thing. Maybe that gives them the clicks they want. But I don't feel it's good professionalism to not be objective. I saw two things. First of all, I saw what he said about Benjamin Sesko. Not actually, he said he's a coward because he did not take the penalty. It was the 10th person to take the penalty. Meanwhile, Ruben Amorim came out to say it was because of a cramp, that he didn't play and because of everything. You're calling it a coward. I feel that's disgraceful journalism, disgraceful reporting, disgraceful analytics. I feel that is clear. I also saw the joke he was making about Ruben Amorim trying to bring a tactics board after the Grimsby match. And I'm like, the media pressure is crazy. And sometimes, we've said it many times here, and we're not trying to give our excuses. This is just to tell you what is exactly happening. Is that without Manchester United, a lot of these papers, a lot of these media houses would not sell. I have a phrase that I keep using. Manchester United is the oxygen of the media, of the footballing media in England. If nothing happens in Manchester United, they don't eat. Frankly and literally, they don't hit. They don't sell. The page views are low. They need to say something about Manchester United. They need to bring up controversies. They need to bring up stories from thin air. And Manchester United fans also, we fall victim of just jumping onto every story. Controversies upon controversies. And it's not that controversies do not exist in other clubs, but controversy just sells better in Manchester United. So I think that's the first point, or the second point now, in terms of after the poor results, and that thing that's causing media pressure on these guys, mental pressure and the mental battle is the media. And we cannot, that's not going to go away. It's part and parcel of being Manchester United, right? So that's the second point. I think the third one will be the fan base. I think with fan base also, I said earlier, we are in a way kind of reactionary. We have a very, very reactionary fan base in the sense of when we win, oh, we are the best in the world. When we lose, oh, we are the worst. In as much as I know that, yes, we have to keep high standards, but sometimes, you have to also be realistic of this position you are. And I know, yes, Manchester United is a great club. It's a mighty club. As some people have kept that in our comment section, it's a mighty club. Yeah, we agree. We all love this club. But the fact is, we've not been a great club for the past 10, 11 years. And so we need to be humble ourselves. As Allah will say, be humble, bro. Humble yourself and now find a way to get yourself back up. And sometimes when you are being humble and when you are building, you have to be quiet. Sometimes you have to be silent and just give these people time to build. It's just like someone is building and you keep shouting, do this. Why not you do this? Why? The person doesn't have time to build. Sometimes the pressure from the fans is terrible. We jump on every single news that has been brought to us. Sometimes I see the news and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. We know what we are trying to achieve with this coach. We know what we're trying to achieve with this ownership. So I think these are the three major causes I believe will cause extreme pressure on the boys. First of all, last season's results and how can they, adapt from it. Secondly is the media, which is obvious and clear. The media and the legends, and then also the fans, and the constant demand, which I feel is nice to put them, to know that we are a demanding club. But sometimes you have to understand that let's be patient with them and let them build. Now, the symptoms will be seen as a result of this mental battle we are facing this season. Is first of all, clearly, we saw that against Grimsby, we will not be starting games. Some games we might not be starting those games on the front foot. And I feel this is what Ruben Amorim needs to watch out for. Always get your players motivated. Even from the warm-up, you can know when they are not motivated. That's why, for me, if I was the sporting director of Manchester United, if I was Jesse Wilcox, I would call Amorim after that Grimsby match. What were you watching? Immediately I saw those boys, I knew the body language was not okay. And I'm sure that body language was also evident in the warm-up. You should not have allowed those guys get in there with that kind of body language. This is why you are a coach. Don't leave these guys. Don't assume that these guys know the importance of starting the game on the front foot. Always remind them. I think Ruben Amorim, in my opinion, does a lot of assumptions. Oh, they are professional players. Oh, they know that Grimsby match is a must win. You are assuming. These guys don't have that mental capacity. When they want to start the game, remind them. Literally shout and waking them up. Because sometimes players need to be shouted upon and woken up before starting games. And I felt that Grimsby game was a slack on many levels, in terms of the coaching levels, in terms of the players' levels. The coaches did not awaken those players well enough before they came, and the players also did not waking themselves up a lot. And I think there's a tendency that we'll see that trend going through this season. And I think Ruben Amorim has to wake them up before the game starts. Guys, this is a very, very important game. Every game, it doesn't matter who we are playing with, wake them up. The big games, most times they switch on themselves, but the smaller games, the manager has to wake them up. Another symptom we will see in this game is the fact that when we go down, especially when the first goal of the game is against us, like as we saw against Arsenal, I feel the mental stability and maturity to calm down and keep doing exactly what you are doing. I think we have to keep doing that. And I think the manager still also must not assume. So he has a lot of work in terms of the manager and the coaching staff have to keep telling them, they scored you, push. Keep doing what you are doing. Keep playing well. Keep pushing. I know, yes, you might want to be disappointed, but keep pushing. A third one also is in the other side of it, when you score first, which we analyzed after the Burnley match. When they score first, there is always a tendency to want to relax. Tell them, don't relax. Push. I think if there's a word that we should be using more in our dressing room, in my opinion, is push. Push more. Push more. Push more. Because I believe this team needs a lot of, cheerleading. If that's the right word, push them, because the mental capacity of this team is very low. People might look at it that, what I say, I'm telling you, this is clearly evident. It's clearly evident. I believe they need to work on it. Now, I think also they need the passion. Sometimes you are leading 1-0 as a team, you are leading the match, and maybe in the 9 minutes. I feel this team needs that, because even I'm only saying in the last game that any chance, against us tends to almost want to enter, because I believe we need to work on that mental capacity in the sense of grind out wins. We need to grind out, because we will need this in this after this international break. Sometimes you get a goal, sometimes you have to grind out a result, and sometimes you need that mental stability to grind out results. And I feel these are the symptoms we'll be seeing in this team, in order for us to be able to, to at least finish in a decent position this season. And I think the solution is, for me, I have just two words to describe the solution. I think the solution is create a siege mentality. This one of the people that used to do this very well, a siege mentality, was Jose Mourinho. If I was Manchester United manager, looking at these players and the mental state they are in, and the mental state we need them to be in order to at least finish in a decent position, I'll be saying something. I'll be saying, guys, the world wants us to lose. Everybody mocks us. Everybody feels we're not good enough. You guys need to show them. Show the world that you're actually good. And I think I'll keep repeating this every training session, every match, every team meeting. They think you cannot do it. They think you cannot finish maybe in the top 6. They feel we are not a good team. They feel you're not good players. They feel I'm not a good manager. And we show them. I think you need to have the siege mentality. I think Mourinho had that definitely in Mourinho's career, even in Real Madrid, in the sense of let it beat them against the world. It's a war. I think Ruben Amorim needs to adopt that. Let them know that the world doesn't believe in them, and they have to. I think this season, get them to a point where they believe that every match is a match to prove a point to the world of football that they can actually do it. Because a lot of assumption. Don't assume that they know it. Keep reminding them. Everyone is against us. The referees are against us. Create that, you guys know what I'm talking about in Jose Mourinho. Everyone is against us. The referees are against us. The media is against us. The leaders are against us. The fans are watching. Can we do it? Other fans mock us. The papers, everything, they write rubbish about us. We have to prove them wrong. We have to show them. We have to quiet them. Create that siege mentality. And I believe, guys, if we're able to do that, we might end up finishing in a decent position, because I believe this season, the greatest battle Manchester United will face this season is not a tactical battle. I think it's a mental battle. This team is mentally weak. And I feel if we don't settle these issues, we might lose a lot of games this season, not because our tactics is 3-4-3, not because our formation is 3-4-3, not because our tactics is a particular way, but because we're not mentally stronger than the opposition. Football is first of all mental. As the likes of the Johan Cruyff will always say, that the most important footballing organ, if I'm paraphrasing now, is the mind. If the mind is right, the feet will follow. Because these are talented players. They have the skills. And you can see that Grimsby match. Grimsby had it up here. They didn't have it up there. So it doesn't matter your talent. And you switch on here. And I think, guys, if we are switched on mentally, we'll do a lot of good things this season. So, guys, these are my opinions on the analysis we've done in the 4 games we've played. I think we'll be doing a lot of analysis in this international break about the squad in terms of the formation, where we can improve upon, what we need to incorporate in our game. So, guys, just stick with us. This is international break. We're going to enjoy ourselves. So, thank you very much for sticking with me. I remain my humble self, Shego. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to share. Until we see you next time. Bye.